In today's Honey Neets Market vlog, I'm going to take these tote bags to create these tote bags. Let's make this. So I've got this pile of tote bags that I'm going to transform today, and I've got 24 of them. They're all canvas, they're all that beige colour, which is really good when you're trying to do different designs. They've got a really short handle. Well, not really short, but they're shorter than regular, so they're a bit more square shaped and they've got a shorter handle. So they're a little bit different, which I hope will kind of put me in a different position compared to other tote bags. And then I've already weeded and cut a whole heap of different transfers. So I've got two different kinds of I'm Not Childless. One is a plant one, which is my Monstera has a name, and the other one says my starter has a name. I've also got propagating parents, and I've got plant parent, and I've also got I'm baking croissants, send thoughts and prayers, and I've also got I bought a maidenhair fig, send thoughts and prayers. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to use my brand new HTVRONT press. Now, I've used it once, I tested it, it works, so that's good, but we'll see how it goes on this scale, because I'm going to do 24 of them and I'm going to do them all in a row with hope. The only thing is that I've made these a little bit wider than the actual machine, so that is a bit of an issue, but that's only an issue for me. It's not going to ruin the product, it's just going to take just that little bit more time. But I love the fact you can set a temperature and you can set a time, so that's going to be really cool. Now, I did do a little experiment. Now, if you are from Australia, you will understand this joke completely, but we've had a lady who has been charged with and convicted of murder because she made beef Wellington and she did it with some poisonous mushrooms. But my friend was obsessed with it. She's a crime podcast fanatic. And so I did a test, and look at this. I've just used the Kmart rainbow for the send thoughts and prayers, and I am loving it. I am not this kind of person who would make these to sell them, but oh gosh, I'm tempted. I just love it. But I love the font. This is a matte black Siser vinyl, and this is the first time I've used the matte black one, and it is delightful. Again, great on the weeding, great on the iron-on, and just loving it. So I just thought I'd show you how easy this little machine is. So this is a HTVRONT. So all I have to do is press the temperature, and I've got it at 305 because I did a test. So this is Fahrenheit. That's the only thing for me that's a bit of a kerfuffle, because I am in Australia, so we use Celsius. And then all I have to change the time, I just have to press that and go up or down. But it's a 10 seconds. So I've looked up the Siser settings, and it says 305 Fahrenheit and 10 seconds. All right, so I'm going to do one to start with, and I'm going to start with my sourdough parent. And so what I want to do first, and you should always do this when you are doing a any kind of heat press or heat transfer, you need to heat up your fabric. So that's the beauty of this little guy. That's just on that whole space, just like that. I love it. I love my little mini easy press, but this, game changer. All right, then the other thing I want to do is find the center of this. So I'm just going to fold and just do a little, make sure it's even, and just do a press. Now that's just to give the middle here so that I've got this centered. Now I love doing iron-on because it's so forgiving. So I can now take my sourdough parent, I'm going to fold it in half. So you can see here that my T's line up because they're the outermost. And I'm just going to pinch up the top of my design there And I've got now a little line there, so I can find the middle. Now, I've also got this, which is supposed to go over the top of this. Now, I now can't remember how this goes. Oh, I feel like oh yeah, there we go. That's where that goes. So what I've actually got is this whole design has to match up. So let me see. Oh no. That's the P, A, that has to go there with the U. Just like that. And yeah, these are going to stick together, but it's not really that much of a deal because you can just then pull them apart. Pull these two designs apart. What do you guys think of this? Now, I've got this flower or these leaf design. I've chosen it because it is actually the design lots of sourdough people will put on their bread. So that's why I chose it. All right. So there we go. So that's the design. So now I'm going to have to fold it in half. So I've got to put the design together first, then I fold it. Because I need us to hit the middle of our whole design, not just part of the design. So there's our mark. All right. I don't think I really understood that it was going to be that big. But anyway, that flower, that plant. Anyway, go with it. All right, now what's that under there? Get rid of that. 'Cause if that sticks, then I'm done for. All right. So now I've got that. I've got my little heat mat underneath. I could have a towel, I suppose, if I wanted to, but this fits on here just perfectly. Then I've bought some silicone mat. I bought it when I bought the new machine because you need something to protect our vinyl. The Easy Press, the mini, is a lot. I think it would be more forgiving than this in terms of heat. All right, so now all I need to do is place it over the top, make sure I've got it on top. And then I just hit this R button and it counts down for me. Now I'm just pushing two hands, but I'm not pushing really hard because I'm going to do layers. So I really could have, I could have actually moved this at about 3 seconds to go, but I kind of forgot. So I'll move it now. And then that will beep. See, so yeah, I may have actually gone a little bit too hard there. Anyway, we'll find out. You can see it's actually, the bubbles are there, so it means that it's adhered. This is the only issue. Maybe I need to do a second one at the same time because these need to cool between. So I can't lift that off yet. So I might do two at once. So I might just also to make my life a little easier, I might actually heat and fold at the same time. I'm going to have to go through and cut these little things. I don't know if that would have heated that enough actually. But I've still got my line. All right, so then I'll do my other one. So this is my other one for the parent. So I've got propagating parent for this. So I've got my design or my theme for my market stall is cooking and gardening because I love both of those things. And when you're talking about trying to get yourself an avatar, and I'm not really sure what my avatar is, I just decided that maybe I should be my avatar. I don't know if that's being lazy or what, but I love cooking, I love gardening, So why not put both together? Now I'm no propagator, but gosh, I love this. And I actually made this on Canva. So I got the leaf design, I got the test tube design, and I got the roots design all separately. And then I did some cropping, some moving, thickening this root to match here. So this is what I mean. I loved Canva because I can play around, and even though I'm not the drawer, I'm the designer, and I pay for the pro version. So anyone who's thinking about doing something similar, I do need to pay for the pro version to be able to access all of these different designs and use them like I do. All right, so this time I might just change my setting, my timer setting, and I might just make it 7 instead of the full 10. So, and then I can just move it over and hit it again. And I've decided not to press down at all now. So then it's just a light press. And let's see, I think that might be a better idea. And then I can move that one over here. And now my sourdough parent should now be ready for its leaf, hopefully. So now I can lift. Oh yeah. How good is Siser HTV? I just cannot love it more. All right, so now I'm going to find me little glitter plant design on my... What is this? Anyone know out there? What is this design actually called? Because I've got no idea. And I love making sourdough, but I can't do the designs. I don't know. My dough is always too soft to actually draw on it, like most people can. So, but I love my sourdough, so I'm not really going to mess with it too much in that respect, because otherwise I'm going to mess with my dough just to get a leaf design, and I'm not really... That's the last thing I want to do, is ruin something just for that reason. All right, let's see. Now that is glitter, so I'm not sure if I should have pressed down a bit more, but I guess we're going to find out. Maybe I will. I might do that just that one just a little bit longer and actually press. I just don't want to overheat the flour. I don't want to overheat this for the glitter. Anyway, we'll find out. And then I'll do the same one for my propagating parent. I had a whole heap of designs, and I had propagating mum and propagating dad and propagating parent. Oops. But I decided that because this is my first market. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Because this is my first market, I don't want to... I wonder if this is a warm peel instead of cold. I didn't want to make too many and then have a lot of leftovers. So I thought if I just go parent, I'm going to hit everyone. Yeah. Oops. Made a little mistake there, didn't I? The Siser is actually a warm peel, not a cool peel. And some of that's come up. I'll try and do... Where's my leaf? Yeah, so I thought if I do parent for this first market and see what people think, because I'm not sure, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to like being a market person, and I don't want a whole heap of, I'd hate for our house, our poor beautiful little villa on the east coast of Tasmania to be filled with things that I can't sell. So I didn't want to go over the top. So I'm just doing a run over the words again, mainly for a bit of a seal, but also that's better. That's better. Oh my gosh. Now that is cool. And if I can't find a propagating parent who wants to buy that, then I'm okay if I've got to end up with 25 bags of these for my shopping. I do love a tote bag. I'm not sure if where you live they've got rules about whether or not you can get plastic bags or things, but here, I think most states in Australia now, we've got to bring our own bag to the supermarket. And so that means that our cars are now full of tote bags. All right, I'm just going to heat this up just a tiny little bit because I think these match warm peels better than cold peels. I'm sure I read that this Siser was a cold peel, but I was obviously very wrong, but so disco impressed with that sourdough parent. Oh my gosh. Am I actually going to want to sell any of these? Am I going to want to keep them all for myself? Please tell me. Comment in the description below if this is something that you think you would buy. I'm planning on selling these for around about $20. Is this not amazing? I don't want to toot my own horn, but that's amazing. I love that. So you saw that I did just another little iron over the top. That's to seal it in and make sure that all of this stays down. And then I'm just going to hang these from a coat hanger so I don't accidentally fold them or anything over the back of the chair, because I want the vinyl to have its 24 hours of setting time. But I'm really happy with these. I can't believe how well they've turned out. And this matte Siser, ooh, obsessed. So there's the sourdough parent, and then I've got a propagating parent. Oh, I'm really happy with these. Oh, okay. So now I'm just going to go through and get all of these done. I'm going to speed it up, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at them and see what you all think. So the final piece to my tote bag puzzle is my tag. Now, I wasn't sure whether to do tags or not, but I decided since these are going to be probably my most expensive item, I will put a little bit more effort into the tagging of these. And also there's something that people do take home with them. A pen, you can't really add a tag to that. It just becomes cumbersome and annoying. But with a tote bag, you can kind of take it with you. And it'd be really nice if people kind of bought them and used them throughout the market day and you could see the little tag. But, you know, you could always dream and hope. But the tag's just got my logo on the front. I did have it blue around the outside as well, but the amount of ink that I was using to do that was just getting a little bit out of hand. So instead, what I've done is I've done the blue on the back with my Etsy store QR code. So then people might be able to take these home and maybe go, oh, I wonder if I can get another one of these tote bags, or direct their friends to my Etsy store to get one of the tote bags. So that'd be really nice. Then I've put the bright pink ribbon. The bright pink ribbon should have matched the HN of the Honey Neets logo, but because I forgot to change the printer setting, it printed out as just regular quality instead of the best quality. So it doesn't have that really bright, vibrant pop of the pink. So if I do print some more, I'll absolutely make sure that I fix that part up. But for now, I just thought, this is your first market. You know, if you make that kind of mistake, I think I can forgive myself. So I'm going to attach them by putting them around the strap here and then just do a bit of a loop. And I'm going to use hot glue to then attach here. And so the idea is that it would sort of hang like that, and the front of the tag will sit at the front of the bag, and then people can see my branding, as well as then when they take it home or they try and take the tag off, they'll see that the Etsy store QR code's there. I did just want to show you though, this is my new favorite purchase, and this is the first time I'm going to use it, but look at this little fella. This is a Ryobi hot glue gun, and it's cordless. So when I've been watching different YouTubers doing craft, I've noticed lots of them in America have cordless glue guns, and I've found it really tricky to find one in Australia. My dad gave me a voucher for Bunnings for my birthday in the middle of this year, and so I was in Bunnings looking for something, and I like to buy things that, you know, will last. I don't want to just go and buy, I don't know, a bit of wood or something like that I'll just cut up or play around with. So I thought I really would like a cordless glue gun, because I've got not a lot of space. If you've been watching my YouTube for a little while, you'll know that I just use my dining table. My computer's all the way over there. I've got my storage over there, and then my table's here. And so having a lot of cords in this small area is cumbersome. So I wanted a one that is cordless. So anyway, so this is the first time I'm going to use it. I don't know how to use this bit. This is the bit that usually, like with a glue gun, you go like this. This bit's the push down bit. So I'm finding that a little bit tricky to get used to, but I'm sure I will eventually. I think I'm not sure if I'm supposed to push both of these guys down at the same time, or if it's one because this is where it fits in my hand, or this, I don't know. So I'm not sure. I'm going to play around with it as I glue these tags on, but I don't know. This is not something I'm being. This is not an advertisement or anything like that. I just wanted to show you that I found a cordless glue gun. If you are looking for one and you are in Australia, that's where you can find one. It's in Bunnings, because otherwise it's really quite tricky and super expensive. This one, however, was only, I don't know, $60. So with my $50 voucher, it only cost me $10. So I was pretty excited about that. So I'm going to speed up that process of adding the tags to my bags, and then we'll come back and I'll show you all of them finished. So I've managed to finish all of my tote bags, and they're all now labelled, which is fantastic. So I thought I'd just go through each of the 6 different ones that I've got. So I've got them in 3 different collections, essentially, or sets. I've got the childless set, I've got the Send Thoughts and Prayers, and then I've got the parent set. So I'm going to go through them, and we'll start with the parent set. So I've got the propagating parent, which, so here's my tag, it's on there. Yep. So this is the propagating parent. This design has got the, there we go, has got the glittery green test tube with the little propagating plant coming out of it. I think that's quite cute. And then we've got the sourdough parent. So the sourdough parent has the glittery purple design, and that little glittery purple design is the leaves that a lot of people will put on their sourdough before they bake them. So I thought that'd be a really nice way to represent that. And I love the glittery purple and the glittery green. Then I've got my Send Thoughts and Prayers collection. So I bought a maidenhair fern, Send Thoughts and Prayers. Now, if you have ever bought a maidenhair fern, you will understand this without a doubt. But for those of you who may not be gardeners, if you buy yourself a maidenhair fern, doesn't matter how pretty it is when you get it from the shop, you will have a beautiful plant one day and a shocking plant the next, because it just dies overnight. And sometimes you know the reason, sometimes you don't. It could be too hot, it could be too wet, it could be too dry, it could be too sunny, it could be too much light, not enough light. They're madness. So you do need thoughts and prayers if you are going to jump into the maidenhair fern parent life. And then I've got the I'm baking croissants, Send Thoughts and Prayers. Now, but croissants, if you're going to make them, take about 3 days. So after that 3 days, sometimes you get an amazing product. Other times it's just like flat, and you've spent 3 days building these beautiful little crescent-shaped divine pieces, and then you get hard, crusty things at the end. So you definitely need your thoughts and prayers for baking croissants. And then my last one is I'm Not Childless collection, or there's 2 of them. So to start off with, I've got the gardening one, and it's I'm Not Childless, my Monstera has a name. If you're an indoor plant person, you definitely have named most of your plants. Whether it is just Spidey for a spider plant, or you have got some elaborate name, you've definitely done that. So I think that this one is fantastic for those plant people in your life, or yourself, obviously. And then this one is the most dear to my heart. This is the I'm Not Childless, my starter has a name. And the reason it's close to my heart is because my starter is called Gertrude, and my mum used to call me Gertrude. So it's kind of like sending down a little generation. So definitely, and look, a starter is, and we've all heard it, the starter is the 2020s version of a Tamagotchi. You've got to really look after them. My poor little Gertrude is not looking very happy at the moment, but she always comes back to life, which is nice. Kind of a bit of a zombie, to be honest. But, you do what you do. So I plan to sell those for about $25 to $30. I haven't made a final decision on these ones. Tote bags are very popular, and tote bags are so reusable that people are more willing, I think, to pay a little bit more. I would definitely fork out $25 if I found a tote bag I loved. So I'm hoping people do like these. And look, there's a little bit of effort is put into these, not only coming up with the different collections, but also the weeding, because I've used the Cricut and then the press. I've had to do a lot of weeding and things. So I think for the amount of time it does take, even though it looks quite simple, the time it takes, I think $25 to $30 is reasonable. But if you disagree, please let me know in the comments below. That'd be great. So I hope you've enjoyed today's market vlog, and I can't wait to see you next week for another Cricut tutorial. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget, you can always jump on my Instagram, head over to my Etsy store, or even check out the videos YouTube recommends for you down below.